So I'm here with Cass today, and I'm going to give her a quick intuitive reading, which I'm really excited about. So here we go. Cass, I feel like you've got it started as like one superhighway, but then it turned into like a whole giant like wagon wheel with all these spikes coming out of superhighways, coming out of your head. Not in like a bad way, but in a you've got too much going on in their way. There's a lot of I think it's a lot of both input and output. Like I think it goes both ways. I think it's a lot of you're shooting in these directions all the time. And I think there are times that you want your ideas to cross highway paths, but they sometimes get so stuck in their trajectory that they don't switch. You sometimes feel like you're in whiplash. I even feel my own energy change. Like my own energy just shifted incredibly because of how much is going on up here that I kind of see it as a crown, and I kind of want you to take it off and put it down and just be like, can I look at it away from my brain for a moment? Can I take my brain and just put it over here? And I feel like there's a way to move it up and out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a system to do it. And I think that you've been working on your systems your whole life about how do I process and how do I figure this out. And I feel like there's a lot of paper involved, that you use a lot of paper to make this happen. I think you've been trying to work with virtual paper, but it's not as successful as actual paper. I feel like exactly. I feel like you've been asking the universe to slow things down a little for you. Or if you haven't been, I feel like that might be coming, where you're like, I really am excited about this roller coaster you have me on. I'm really excited about these things that you have put in front of me to complete. And I'm willing to say yes, and I'm willing to be who you need me to be for me to become all that I need to be in this lifetime. But I feel like there's a part of you that's like, can we please pump the brakes a little bit? Because there's only so much a person can do and not overwhelm, bottom out, leave your muffler behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to die without a muffler, but it does make a lot of noise when you don't have one, right? And it's super uncomfortable. So you kind of need it, right? And so bottoming out is not something you're unused to. It's something you have done, but it's also something you don't love. And so I use an analogy, so just follow with me for a quick second. I use an analogy when you take an SSRI. For those of you who don't know what an SSRI is, it's an anti-anxiety, antidepressant medication, like Lexapro or Effexor or Prozac. And the way that they work is that a person who has high highs and low lows, they have a high high and a low low. When you take an anti-anxiety, it cuts off the high high and the low low and keeps you in this middle range all the time, which means that it can be hard to be really excited about something, but it can also be in a way that's bad. But it also means that you're not going to drop really low to have like a negative, like a really depressive moment, right? That's how the SSRI works. It keeps you in the middle, kind of without the real high and without the real low. Some of them will actually stop the ability to climax even because you can't get that real high. So I sort of feel like you asking the universe, can we please just like put me on an SSRI for just like 2 months where I don't have all these really big high moments and these really low moments as I'm trying to figure out all the things that I'm supposed to be doing because there's so much on my plate. I just need the middle ground. Can we please just like not have it be woo or woo? Can we just like be in the middle just a little bit so I can get my bearings before we start on anything else or before anything else continues to grow, because it's getting bigger and exponential as you move forward. All the things are becoming bigger and exponential as you move forward. which is a blessing, and you're excited about that. There's a part of you that's like, if I lived in just the middle, am I going to miss out on something? Right?
Mhm.
But you're like, but I need 2 months just to get myself together. And for some reason I see you in the car, windows open, sunroof down, singing your heart out, but you're alone in that car. You're not with your husband and you're not with your kids, right? Like you you are
I get it.
okay. So sorry for that blip.
Solo in a car.
Solo in a car, no kids. And I feel like this is like a recharge time, but I also feel like it might be a running away time where you're like, I just need to run away from my life. And I feel like there are times where you're like, I just want to go and not come back. I just want to go and go. And I feel like the universe is supporting, right? The universe is coming in and giving you the comfort you need and the space you need. And people are starting to show up to say, I want to take this off your plate and I want to take this off your plate. And if you haven't seen them, I feel like people are going to be coming in to say, I want to take this off your plate and I want to take this off your plate. But the problem with you, no offense, don't take that the wrong way. I don't mean it the wrong way, is the problem is the second you're going to get some space, you're going to want to fill that space with the new ideas that are coming in. Right? You're going to want to be like, oh, now I have the opportunity to go in this direction. I have an opportunity to build a new road in that direction. And I have an opportunity to build a new road in that direction. Instead of being like, oh, I now have space for Cass, you're going to be like, I now have space to create more. And I would just give you the encouragement to allow the space to be for Cass for now. I'm not saying forever. I'm not saying, I'm not saying until June. I'm saying until like February, right?
Yeah.
Because this is like also a time where you're going to get some downloads on some other really cool stuff to do. And you're going to want to jump off onto those things. And there isn't room on your superhighway, right? You've got all these spokes coming off. And until the person who comes in that says, I want to take this off your plate, actually has removed it from your plate and has completely taken it off your radar 100%, you actually don't have room for more yet. And so I'm just going to ask you to cultivate a little patience and cultivate a little self-kindness and cultivate a little bit more self-love to say, until that's actually no longer even a, in Harry Potter where they have a thought and they take the thought out of their mind. Oh, right, you don't know Harry Potter at all.
I don't know Harry Potter, sorry.
No, it's okay. So there's a thing that they do in Harry Potter when they need to get something off their mind. They like hold their wand up to their brain and then they pull it out and it comes out as like a sort of like a wispy. It comes out like a wispy and it continues to hold on until it breaks off like a cobweb. And so I'm just going to encourage you to, until the person takes it completely and there are no more cobwebs even that hold you to the thing that they're taking off your plate, to not pick up something new, because there really isn't room. Okay, that's what I've got.
The joys of us being a superhighway. All I could picture as you were saying that too was, Atlanta, where they're just adding overpass to overpass, or like LA to adding overpass to overpass, where they're just stacked. And you're like, it's okay. There's like 18 highways stacked on me as I drive underneath. That's all I could envision.
Yeah. I see it more like there's a hub in the center and then they all come off and they all go out because they're all very, very different. Right?
Yes.
Aligned Social is in one direction. And that is nothing like your Tech by Tola marketing program, right? So they're not even like, there's nothing that like overlaps them.
Yes.
Except for the part that like maybe your development team might, your coding team might be making some code for Tech by Tola things at the same time that they're building a social media app. but
Nope, different team.
different. Okay, there you go. Completely
No
different
overlap.
teams. No overlap at all. So yeah,
So
there,
basically reinventing the wheel of hub and spoke model.
exactly, exactly.
No.
So that's yeah. And so I just encourage a chance for peace and love and kindness and goodness for Cass.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Fun. Normally on the other side of the reading, so this is kind of enjoyable to be honest with you. Like this is what it's like. I just get to sit back and be like, hell yes, read me.
Yes, exactly. And is there anything else that you have questions about or anything else that you want me to dive deep into?
Regarding the reading?
Yeah.
It's really funny because what just dawned on me too is I passed a bunch of stuff off yesterday and Monday, so 2 days ago, and he just did this complete download and just passed, 50 or 60 of my connections and conversations that I'm going on, and we have, this whole CRM system we're creating, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things I said, just you guys wait to see the downloads that come through when there's actually space for downloads to come through. So I just wanted to kind of give a confirmation on that. And it's interesting because the first thing that the team kind of asked was like, what downloads are you thinking are going to come through? I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
How do you
Like,
even know? You're downloading
zero
out of
clue.
nowhere. You're like I'm just sitting here waiting, and then all of a sudden, boof, it comes in.
Like generally I'm in the shower, like blow drying my hair, something like mundane and like have to do, or like, vacuuming yesterday, or I'm like, oh, that's a really cool idea. Shout out to my shower notepads if you ever need a download space, is like always the shower. But I just feel like I'm like, if there's this much stuff that already comes through kind of naturally and bubbles through naturally, and there's not an abundance of space, what happens when there is an abundance of space? Like what comes through then? And so just a reconfirmation to, the coming soon attractions that I dropped earlier this week.
That's so fun. I'm
It
so
is
glad
fun.
I was like clearly confirming all the things that have been happening.
Yes. Yes. So
Excellent. All right. Thanks for being here today.
thank you.